Well, it's kind of ridiculous that it took the publication of Michael Wolff's tabloid book to get us to all publicly agree that Trump is nuts. But apt as well, because the launch of Fire and Fury was announced right after Uranus, planet of surprises and reversals, turned direct on January 2nd. And while Trump's flagrant abuse of the truth has been evident for years, the one remaining hope of an epiphany and elevation of character due to the nature of the office was killed off hours into the presidency. Astrologers know that a birth chart can be expressed in many different ways within a spectrum of characteristics. The main determining factor will be the consciousness of the individual. Those of low vibrational frequency will be easier to stereotype as they are acting out the energies in dull, brute form. A year of having dealt with Trump's unprecedented insanity now proves that he is living out the lower consciousness version of his chart, and therefore we can believe our lying eyes. Trump is the comedic, parodic version of Gemini Sun and Leo Rising. Gemini is two-faced, inconsistent, easily bored, a liar. Geminis can also be charming, superficial, gifted storytellers, and engage in moral relativism. To make matters worse, our unprecedented leader has Uranus, planet of chaos, attached to his multiple personality sun sign, intensifying the already strong predilection to splinter, fracture, and distract. While a little excitement is interesting, continuous drama is tiresome and traumatizing. And when much of the population suffers from anxiety and depression due to this presidency, one thing is clear. Damaged people cause damage to others. This would be less problematic if talking about a deranged aunt or ex. But when the unstable person rules the free world, it causes PTSD of untold magnitude. In addition to Trump's ADD Sun sign combination, he is also King Star Leo Rising. Leo the narcissist would certainly think of himself as a genius, and with Uranus would never be stable enough to see himself clearly. He does believe his own hype in whatever moment he is in. And his Mars in Leo in the 12th house of self-undoing shows that his actions, financial and sexual, will lead to his downfall. Another interpretation of Mars in the 12th is assassination by a younger man. Yet he is now behind the curveball as Leo traits, hubris, authoritarianism, lack of self-awareness, are no longer the tender du jour. Actually, a long-wave cycle planet regarding authentic power, Trans-Pluto, has moved focus from Leo, divine right, to Virgo, power to the people. Even astrologically, Trump is awkwardly out of step with reality and current times. When dealing with a Gemini horoscope, the planet Mercury is important. Mercury rules communication. The genius moniker could apply if Trump's Mercury were placed in Aquarius or even Virgo, but alas, this is not the case. Unfortunately, Trump's ruler is stuck in second grade in Mercury in Cancer. This is what causes people, everyone around him, to utter that he thinks and acts like a child. And on the mental impairment spectrum, you only need to read the written transcripts of his press conferences to notice some very disjointed thinking and disturbing cognitive dissonance. Gemini rules the media, newspapers, tabloids, gossip, and talk shows. This may be where his claim of genius applies, as he dominated the airways throughout the entire 2016 campaign. Yet because Trump manipulated the media to his advantage for years, he cries wolf with his fake media taunts. And having an immature emotional state doesn't help. Donald has Venus in Cancer, boob and mommy issues, along with Saturn in Cancer, cold demanding father, and emotional deprivation in childhood. It also means he tends to attract women who might have fake boobs, but not the natural warmth of a woman. Not that he deserves it, as Moon and Sag in the 5th house of gambling and amorous adventures points to infidelity and more, making it difficult for a spouse to feel secure on any level. You must be integrated to be in integrity, and this is where Trump fails miserably. This is a careless, fractured, and unbalanced man who has falsely achieved power and position because we as a nation are damaged in the realm of the masculine archetype. Those with authority issues covet and relive a bad father story to bring awareness to the dangers of giving power away to an unworthy or empty figure. So now we are all stuck with dry, drunk dad. Last August's famous eclipse did contact Donald Trump's ascendant, ushering in some potential changes. He may have suffered a stroke or minor heart attack around that time, Leo ruling the heart, which has led to diminished performance and cognitive abilities. Not that he was Einstein before this time, simple cognitive test notwithstanding. A second eclipse on the same location will occur this February 15th. And if not to his health, although the ascendant speaks to the body, certainly Trump has suffered more blows to his character and false persona, and hopefully the House of Cards will finally implode. And the proposition that Trump has dementia may be a distracting ploy in the way that Roy Cohn had John Gotti roam around in pajamas. It is clear that Trump is mentally unstable, but that hasn't stopped people from supporting and or taking advantage of his disabilities, nor containing his irrational impulses. There is no doubt that he is guilty of many financial crimes, would lie under oath, and could likely go to prison, so asserting dementia may be his only way out. One thing we know for sure, Trump's challenged mental and psychological health is no lie. But once this abuser-in-chief has been demoted and defamed, which should happen this year, this will open the nation up to healing on a major scale in the way that Me Too liberated women and men. And just as we are healing our personal stories of abuse, the country as a whole will arise again more strong and free when we unlock from the abusive system that put Trump in office. Bad dad time waster will give way to thoughtful, sober, compassionate, real populists who will reset this temporary backlash. Trust me, there's a revolution in the works coming to a theater near you in 2020. I'm Med Astrologer Patrice Kamens.